This is Swiss and Chips, your British guide to Switzerland.
Hello and welcome to Swiss and Chips. My name is Simon.
And I'm Jo.
And today we're going to talk about general lifestyle differences between Switzerland and England.
Yes, exactly.
Very exciting. So it's the second part of our investigative interview with Jo.
Yep.
She moved here a decade plus ago, 12 years, 13 years, something like this.
Nearly 12 years.
Okay, almost 12 years ago. I already forgot in these few weeks we recorded the last time.
It's been busy. Who are we kidding? It hasn't.
Yeah, and last time we talked a little bit about how it was to move here and, difference or what you expected when you came. And today we talk about the lifestyle differences.
Exactly.
So I've got some exciting questions.
Oh yeah, go on.
About, how is the lifestyle living at home, for example? How is it with work? And how is it with free time, and see how far we come today and see if we have to make a third episode about it.
Lovely jubbly.
Yeah, maybe we can pull it through.
Yes, cool.
A British expression from me to start the episode. There you go.
Love it. Pull it out, we could also say.
Okay, let's pull it out. And we start with, what I said is the living. I'm really interested as well as a Swiss. How is it the differences living in Switzerland, finding a flat? How is it different flats? How is the renting going on and, moving in and so on? Don't really know where to start. Maybe first find a flat.
Find a flat. Well,
or a house. Do you live in houses or flats?
Yeah. So, here's the thing, some things I think don't change that much. But as you said at the beginning there, I've lived here for 11 and a half years now. That's quite a long time, let's be honest. So things may have changed a little bit in the meantime. But I think things like, generally speaking, most people are living in houses rather than flats. And it's quite normal to buy your own property in the UK, I think, in comparison to here, where lots of people are living in rented accommodation, but long term.
Yeah, you only buy something if you're quite rich or if you inherit something.
Yeah, because you need this kind of very big lump sum to purchase something in Switzerland, don't you? Whereas in the UK, you've probably got a few more options. Anyhow, that's very roughly speaking.
But you also go and find online where you want to live, then go and visit the flat, and then you apply, and then...
Well, yes and no.
You do it here.
Yeah. We've got an episode actually about finding a flat, haven't we? So if that's you looking for somewhere to live, search for our previous episodes. We've got a whole one about finding a place to live.
I'll link it in the show notes.
Nice one. I think the big difference, and the thing that was a huge surprise, dare I say it, a shock when I moved here, was that you get picked to rent your flat. In the UK, it's pretty much first come, first served. You're just going, I need a flat. All right, I'm going to have this one. You got here first. You've got the money. Bob's your uncle. You've got it.
Yeah.
But here it's like, you're going to apply. Are you good enough? Do you fit in with the people in the building? Are you this or that? Do you cough too loudly at 11 p.m.?
Yeah, it's more or less you apply for a job almost.
Yeah, you need to write a cover letter. What the hell? When I found that out, I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, but you don't have to. I think we talked about this before, but you don't have to write a cover letter.
Yeah, but come on, if you want the flat, you're going to write a cover letter.
Exactly, yeah.
And submit a photo so long as you haven't got three eyes or something.
Especially on popular places, let's put it like this, like in cities.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, we've got the flat now, and?
Okay. What was your next question?
So far, it's quite difficult to find a flat.
Yes.
Then compared to the UK, and you rent flats here and you don't buy them. That's the other difference.
Yeah.
Do you have here? Usually it's unfurnished.
Right.
Move in.
This is a great point because this is another proper shock you're going to have if you move to Switzerland. Of course you can get unfurnished flats or houses in the UK, of course. But lots of them are furnished. And I think, my theory on this, completely unresearched, but my theory is that because at some point you're probably going to buy a place, most people who are renting it are people who don't have furniture already, younger people basically. So they want the furniture. Whereas in Switzerland, you're living in flats or rented accommodation for a much longer time. So you accumulate your own furniture. You really make it your home. The other thing is, apart from the furniture that's not in the flat when you move in Switzerland, you're also missing some key items such as light fittings.
Yes, we don't have that.
What? Really? This is absolutely nuts.
Well, there is a kitchen.
Yeah, but lights.
But everything else is missing. But there is a kitchen and sink and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
In Germany, they don't even have a kitchen.
Yes, I couldn't believe it when I found that out.
Yeah. Here, at least, the kitchen is...
We can be thankful for that.
You can move in and live.
In the dark, yeah.
You sleep on the floor in the dark, but there is water and electricity.
Yeah.
Maybe no TV and no internet, but...
Connection, yeah.
Yeah, everything else is there.
Yeah. So the light fitting, I think that is... I'm going to, stick my neck out here and say I think that's really stupid.
Yeah, but you want your own light, don't you?
Yeah, but not the light fitting. Everybody buys them from IKEA, pretty much. You just want to put a light bulb in. Otherwise, it's like, how can I get all my stuff moved in before it gets dark?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
It's annoying, let's be honest.
Yeah. So there's that. And funny story for you, seeing as we're talking about missing objects. The first flat that I found for myself to live in Switzerland, I was like, this is so awesome. I'm so excited. I can't believe I got it. Wow, this must be so special. And then I went round after I got it because I heard, you have to give the people who allow you to have the flat some kind of present or something. So I went round with like a bottle of wine for her and she looked at me like, what? Okay, thanks. You don't need to bring me something. So obviously I misunderstood that a bit. And then the day I moved in, I thought, oh no, I've made a horrible mistake. There's no radiators here. Oh my God. No wonder they gave it to me so cheap and so easily with no renting history, no nothing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but it's not cold. And then I was like, hang on a second. Underfloor heating.
Nice.
Because at that time, that was like, wow, that would be such a luxury to rent a flat with underfloor heating in the UK.
It still is. Also in Switzerland.
The flat wasn't super modern or anything.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, cool.
It was great. What a relief.
And the heating is also different because of the insulation here. I think, at least if we are in England, I think insulation is so different. It's always getting quite cold.
Different is a good word for it.
Do you agree?
100% buildings are very well insulated here.
Yes.
I have been known to say at times I could be wearing shorts in the winter.
Then you don't have furniture. Where are you going to buy them?
Well,
Is that the same here?
In both places, you can obviously always go to IKEA.
Yeah.
So we can be thankful for that. But there's a few kind of big name shops in Switzerland. I think the big difference is there's this really long ordering time on a lot of items like sofas and beds, people waiting, 16 weeks for these kind of things. That seems really long. It's been a long time, admittedly, since I've ordered furniture in the UK, but I don't remember it ever taking that long.
Yeah, we have, in Switzerland, we basically have like different, I assume it's the same in the UK, we have like different levels of shops to like price level and equals quality. Yeah. So the IKEA is obviously cheap and quality
cheerful,
so-so.
Cheap and cheerful.
And then we've got a few in the middle like Mikasa, for example. Then it's in Interior, Pfister, Möbelpfister or things like that. It's on the upper level and then obviously open end.
Yeah, special stuff.
But what I also think, if we go to England and here and there we see an advert somewhere and I see more often like a bit more not standard furniture. We don't have that really. If you want some special items in Switzerland, it's gonna cost a fortune very quickly. That's why I feel like many houses have quite similar furniture in Switzerland as well.
That's true.
Yeah, so,
I think.
Yeah. But I saw mate.com, they deliver now to Switzerland.
Yeah.
So we can have a look there as well.
And someone I know, a British person in Switzerland, told me she got a sofa delivered from the UK as well, which I had never considered doing. So.
No, me neither. Anything else you want to add about living in Switzerland or the UK?
Post boxes. That's different.
Yes.
In the UK, you have a letterbox on your front door pretty much.
Yep.
So your post is coming in your house. Mm-hmm. Hence, in cartoons and programs and stuff, it's always, this thing about the dog eating the post and stuff.
Yeah.
But here, it gets put in a little box outside your house.
Yes.
Totally different.
Oh, and that which reminds me of what is written on the box and on the doorbell.
Oh, yeah, your name.
Yeah.
Totally confusing.
We talked about this because that's completely normal here that you have your name on the doorbell and on the postbox. Otherwise, how do people know that
Well, we don't have
there?
that. Like if you live in a block of flats, you'd live in number 25B, for example. Yeah. Or if you just live in a house on a street.
People know that you live there.
Because they know your address.
And someone who doesn't know your address before but says, I want to come for a visit.
Well, damn right, they shouldn't be come knocking on my door. Stay away, weirdos.
Yeah, I guess. That's probably a little bit different then.
Yeah.
Let's move on to work.
Yes.
Second point.
Mm-hmm.
Finding a job, we also, I think, have an episode about that.
We do, yeah.
And that's probably quite similar, isn't it?
Yes and no. I think it takes a lot longer to find a job here in Switzerland.
Okay.
And also you've got the salary issue. Yes. Salary is not normally disclosed in an advert in Switzerland, but it is in the UK, which I think is much fairer.
It's much fairer, yeah.
There you go. sticking my neck out again.
Also that we talked about, I guess, but you have to basically negotiate your salary.
Yeah, but how do you do it if you don't know how much people earn?
It's very difficult, especially if you come from abroad, I think. So the only thing you can do is ask in our Facebook group, for example.
Yeah, true.
Switzerland for English speakers. You ask, hey, I'm having this interview. What do you think? What kind of salary can I expect with my education and experience?
Yeah, there are certain websites where you can look up rough ranges.
There are certain websites with rough ranges, but it's very rough ranges. It's so heavily depending in which industry you are and which city you live in, which canton you live in. It can vary really like 20-30%.
Yeah.
Right. We found the job, the interview. Is it the same?
Wow. I mean, I haven't had that many job interviews in Switzerland because I've been lucky to work for almost the same company for my entire time. But
must be similar, I assume.
That's really hard for me to answer, to be honest, because I've had so few interviews in Switzerland.
Right. Let's just pretend I never asked that question.
Sorry.
Let's move on. Work. How is the daily life? What do you think? Is there any difference? I mean, when do you start in Switzerland? When do you stop?
Yeah.
How much lunch breaks? How much breaks in general? And all the contract around.
All right. Summarize in 10 seconds. Of course, it varies by what kind of job you're doing and where you're working and so on. But generally speaking, people start work earlier in Switzerland, I would say. I don't think it's that unusual for people to start work at 7:30 in Switzerland.
Yeah,
in fact, I know someone sitting opposite me who used to show up at the office very early. And I thought, what? 9:30 is the time to come to the office, not 7:30.
Yeah, 9:30 is unheard of.
Right, there you go.
And but builders, they also start at 7 in the UK, or don't they?
7:30, 8.
They start at 7, so that means they start in their workshop often at 6. And then they go to the place and start at the place at 7. Because if you pay someone to, redo your house, you expect them to start at 7.
Yeah, I mean, if someone's working in your house, it's up to you when they're going to start, pretty much. But on a building site, they are also starting quite early in the morning.
So we're talking about offices then. And there, I think the normal time to start is around 8. Average in Switzerland.
For us, it's maybe like 9:30. Depends on your industry. If you're working in the media, darling, maybe you're going to start at 10.
Wow.
Crazy, huh? Because then you're working late because you're cool.
Gotcha. Then we've got breaks.
Non-existent.
So in the morning and the afternoon, you are always allowed to have a 15 minutes break, paid 15-minute break.
Yeah.
Or quite often paid 15-minute break, but you are always allowed to have one. And at lunch, I think the minimum is half an hour, but most people in Switzerland, they do maybe 45 minutes or something like that. How is this?
That's also depending on the region. When I've had lunch with people in the French-speaking part, they're taking much longer for lunch. Yeah,
absolutely true. Yeah,
living their life over there. Yeah, in the UK, of course, this also varies, but I'd say I have the feeling we're not really strictly adhering to these breaks and lunch times like people are over here. Eating at your desk is quite normal in an office job in the UK.
Yeah.
Again, not for everyone, but it's not weird. I have on occasion in the early days eaten lunch at my desk in Switzerland, people looking at you like, what the hell are you doing? A, you bring your food into our office. This is not allowed. You make a funny smell. And then B, what's wrong with you? Go and have your lunch somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree. It's lunch at the desk is really only an emergency in Switzerland, I'd say.
Yeah, depends on the job though, doesn't it? I'm sure like
to do.
Lawyers and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They've
emergency.
Got loads to do.
Yeah, they're always in an emergency.
Exactly. Yeah, and then how is it working with colleagues, meetings and working with colleagues?
Just really depends on the people and where you're working and stuff. But I mean, there was always a big social aspect when I was in the UK. You'd always go for drinks on a Friday evening after work.
Yeah,
if not a Thursday evening.
Okay.
And hasn't happened so much here.
No, not at all. That's it. Yeah.
But then here we have more kind of formal apéros to celebrate things like end of year, start of new year for a project and so on. We didn't have that so much in the UK.
Yeah. Also, this is obviously depending where you work, and if you work in a village on a, with builders, or also in a small office in the village, I'm sure Or I know that you also go for drinks on a Thursday after work.
I need to go work in a village
also
then.
depend a little bit the age and if you've got a family or not.
Yeah, exactly. Also people who work in London with kids to get back to, and the home counties are probably going home pretty soon after work as well.
That can happen in Switzerland as well, but it's probably not super often. Right. So then is there anything more you want to add about how is it to work in Switzerland compared to the UK?
Well, skiing plays a much bigger role here.
Yes, it's actually, you say it as a joke, but what is true is that wherever I worked so far, usually you have a event day per year, a team excursion day.
Exactly.
And quite often that can be connected to skiing.
Exactly. Yeah, I meant it kind of jokingly, but kind of not, because lots of people I know have gone on work ski trips. And obviously that can be a big source of panic for us expats who haven't learned how to ski. And then you have to go and flap about with sticks on your legs looking like an idiot with your colleagues, potentially.
Yeah, but usually don't be scared.
Yeah.
Usually it's like people who want to go skiing, others go après-ski directly.
Yeah, cool.
Right. We also wanted to talk about free time and so on, but seeing as time has moved on already, we talk next time maybe a bit more about that.
Yeah.
But in the meantime... Learning Swiss German with Swiss and Chips.
We should really start, what's the word? Getting a trademark on that. We could start a TV series.
Right. Today, the word is, I thought that might be useful for you.
Okay.
It's called lange Zeit. Do you know what that means?
This is coming from a work context.
No, I can say it slightly slower. Lange Zeit.
Yeah, I heard you the first time. That's not the problem. The words I deciphered. The meaning is as yet unknown to me.
To translate, maybe you can have a guess. I translated in English. It's called long time.
I know.
Okay. Also doesn't help.
No, like I said.
Good.
The word is technically understood.
I think I'm not sure if it even exists in English. It's homesick, basically.
Is that not Heimweh?
Yes, but let me explain.
All right, go for it.
Lange Zeit is homesick for something you miss. I should have picked another word.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Hast lange Zeit?
No, but could you say, I've got lange Zeit für blah blah? And then we'd be like, right, you can use it with chocolate.
Man, let's have a break here. Let me think of something. Usually you'd say, you haven't been, that's why I said it fits in now, or it fits for expats, I assume. If you haven't been to England for a long time, people would come and say, Hast lange Zeit? Do you feel like, you haven't been there for a long time? And you feel like you miss it. But it's not exactly Heimweh only. It can also be a family member you haven't seen for a long time, and then you have lange Zeit.
Sort of like a sad longing.
I really hope that no one who speaks Swiss German is listening to the podcast. They will say like, no, that's a completely wrong explanation now.
Hast lange Zeit for explaining something simply.
Right. I Google it now and we make a break and I come back with an explanation so we can clarify this.
I'll wait here.
Right. We're back and I Googled it and we didn't find out. But
slow clap.
Yeah, I tried my best. I promise next time I'll find a better word. And we'll ask in our Facebook group, maybe someone has a better explanation. But I think, you want to say something?
I was just going to say, this is not so unusual for some Swiss German words. There isn't a perfectly direct translation, but I think we're roughly getting the grips of it.
Yeah,
it's something to do with, homesick, but a sort of melancholic longing for something you have an emotional attachment to.
Yeah, it's something or someone. I think you can't really have it for a thing to do, but for someone or something. So if a child is away from the parents for a night or so, and then they cry in the evening, you would say to them, oh, do you feel a bit... Hast lange Zeit?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Right. This was a complete Reinfall. Can you translate that word?
Disaster.
Yes, exactly. Well, not disaster, but shall we really go that way?
No, let's not.
Okay.
The end. Help. No more. No
enough
more.
is enough.
Don't learn Swiss German.
Yeah.
Just stumble through and use the words wrongly. That's my advice.
Okay, that was a bumpy end of this episode, but thanks anyway for listening, whoever made it that far.
Yep.
And don't forget to join our Facebook group, Switzerland for English Speakers. Go to our website, which is called swissandchips.com. and talk to us if you
Yeah.
have questions, suggestions, or explanations.
Yes, we need them.
Right. Thanks a lot for listening.
Goodbye. Bye.